Hey everyone, welcome to today's Facebook Live. I'm Rachel Thompson Phillips, the creator of the BU Oracle Cards and Sacred Psychic online program. Today I wanted to come in because as we start leading towards a new moon, you will start noticing that your brain is just getting bombarded with so many ideas, concepts, visions, all these amazing information is dropping into our consciousness, and it's really easy to get distracted by all of these really awesome thoughts that are popping into our head. Now what can happen, hey Raj, how are you? And what can happen, hey Kelly, how are you? Sometimes we can find that we can get so easily distracted by all of these ideas and concepts, because really at the end of the day, our brain only has a certain capacity to be able to receive a certain amount of information. So when it's getting bombarded with all this information like it is right at the moment, it's easy to get really lost in all of your own ideas and not know what to do with them. Hey Kate, how are you, honey? It's really great to see you. So I wanted to come in and share with you one really great way in which to be able to solidify all of these really great ideas and concepts that you have, and to be able to turn those ideas and rebirth them into an action plan. The new moon provides us with this amazing opportunity to be able to start planting the seeds of our dreams, our visions for our success. And what can happen is when we start thinking about the new moon, we spend a lot of time up in the sky, up in the air, and all of these thoughts are coming in and we get distracted and we don't know what to do with them. And then we start running around like a crazy person, because then with all of these ideas that are coming in, we actually really don't know where to go, because we're like feeling drawn and pulled to try and do everything that of these ideas that are popping in. So I would love to hear if everyone else is noticing that their brain is getting really bombarded with so many ideas, concepts, and visions of how to turn dreams into actual success plans. Hey Paul, hey Vanessa, how is everyone? So this is something that's really important as we lead to a new moon, because a new moon is about planting the seeds for success. But if we only keep those ideas and concepts stuck in our head, we actually really don't do anything with them, because the brain will go into a sensory overload and it'll start running around and it'll be wanting to do this and it'll be wanting to do that. And I'm like, oh my God, the next idea jumps in, so I better jump on that before I forget. And before you freaking know it, you ended up running around like an absolute nut job, and nothing is actually getting achieved, other than the fact that you've become increasingly freaking busy. But nothing, when we start off with running around with all of these ideas and concepts and we're trying to achieve them all, what will happen is that nothing will actually get finalized or finished. Hey Tam, how are you? I can't keep up. I know, Kate. That's why I'm coming in to do this video for you, love. So I can share with you how to be able to really bring those ideas down into a very solid matter that you can create an action plan so that you can move forward. So today, this is the number one reason why I'm coming in to share with this, because I'm finding so many people are finding their heads are in the cloud. They're running around with their heads chopped off. And you actually feel like you're sort of not present, because you're caught in your head and you're trying to grasp and grab all of these ideas, because you think, if I don't get them now, I'll forget them. But there's so much information coming in at the moment, which is wicked, and it's super, super freaking cool. But you've got to know what to be able to do with them, so that, because all of these ideas and concepts and visions, and almost like getting these gorgeous little insights into the success that you could have in any area, are gorgeous, soulful, intuitive guidance that is being shared with you, where your soul is saying, this is what your potential is. And that's awesome, because it sparks so much excitement. And the new moon does that, because it opens up a portal within ourselves where we start actually believing more deeply within ourselves that you can actually achieve this. So the most important thing is to know how to harness all of these wicked cool ideas and channel that energy into making these ideas and concepts actually turn into something very real and tangible, not just a whole lot of noise. Yeah, Kate. She's written things are downloading like crazy. This is so cool. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure, and I'm so stoked that this is resonating with you all. Please share, a thumbs up or a heart, or just write yes. This is really resonating with me. Hey, Ian. Hey, Carol. Hey, Michelle. So, for me, I think it's one great aspect and component that your soul gives you intuitive guidance and information and downloads it into your consciousness. But if you don't, then that's only like step one. If you don't know what to do to implement step 2 or step 3, you just get stuck with all of this intuitive information. And usually if you don't know how to channel it correctly, not so much correctly because there's no right or wrong, but if you don't know how to channel it so that you can get a completion or an outcome or a result from all of these ideas, guess what? At the end of the day, they just become freaking noise. And what we want to do is we want to be able to tap into this soulful amazingness that is coming into our consciousness so that it can help highlight and illuminate our own genius. And this is where we need to be able to bring in that element of being able to connect into that intuitive part of ourselves to start looking at what the next step is to take and how to be able to direct all of these cool ideas into other places where they become stepping stones towards the success that you're seeking at the moment. Hey, Nikki, how are you? So the very first step, as I said, is about being able to understand that you are receiving all of this awesome intuitive guidance coming from your soul. It's like being able to get like a little snippet of a video that is being brought into your consciousness as a glimpse as to your own personal potential. So this is where it becomes freaking really, really powerful. Because remember, as this is coming in, this is your soul saying to you, this is your potential. These are your possibilities. Now, how do we turn this into the next step? Awesome. So the next step is being able to just, if you don't put all of those ideas down on a piece of paper, you are not going to be able to do anything with them. And that is so because your brain can only have, from an anatomy and physiology point of view, your brain can only consume so much bite-sized bits of chunks of information. As there's so much information coming into your mind, you're going to get this really great idea, and that's only going to be able to stay there for a day or two before that gets deleted because there's so much more other information coming through. So if you think you can hold on to that, guess what? It's not going to happen, and it doesn't matter how freaking evolved you are. If you don't write it down, the shit disappears. Okay, so number one thing, get a piece of paper. You don't have to understand right at this given moment when you write down all of these ideas and concepts. You don't need to know what order they're in. Just get them out of your head, write them down on a piece of paper so that you can come back in at the next step, which I'm going to share with you, to be able to know what to do with this information. I've been ignoring the message. Yeah, well, good luck with ignoring him, Kate, because one thing about it, your soul, it doesn't go anywhere. It stays with you all the time. So you may think that you can ignore it, but it's almost like a tap on your shoulder, like, hey, how you doing? I think you may have forgotten to connect with me because I've got so much information to share with you. So let's talk. So I dig that, but I absolutely love the fact that you're actually learning to connect into this information, and that obviously you've put this out into the consciousness because you have been right here at this point to be able to receive this information, so you know what to be able to do with this, Kate. So remember, your soul brought you here for a very specific reason. Well, you know what? Crazy is only crazy by other people's standards. So don't worry. I am stoked that you're listening to me do this Facebook Live while you're sitting in the playground at the school. So anyway, let's get on with it. The gorgeous thing about being able to write down all of that information and all of, I'm just going to say ideas, visions, and concept. You choose whatever language, whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to put it that. So, and when you write down all of these thoughts, ideas, and concepts, what happens is that the mind becomes free and the next lot of information can come through. So that's what I'm saying. You don't need to do anything with this information. Just spend the next day or so, just have a little notebook. Like I have a little notepad that stays by my office all the time, and I don't care about order or it making it look pretty. I will just come, other than my book looks really pretty, I'll come in and I'll just write all of the ideas down. Then what I do is that once I find that all of that information starts to slow down, then I start just processing and going, okay, what is the most important step? Prioritizing it. From there, once you understand how to be able to prioritize what's important, because remember, your soul is going to give you so much information, and it may give you the next 3 months, or it could give you some insight onto some stuff that could potentially take 12 months for it to fully birth into something tangible. So just remember, your soul doesn't give you, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. This is where that human part of yourself has got to come in and be able to go, what is the most important priority for myself right now? So that you can then look at it and then be able to go, okay, well, I've received this intuitive guidance that's given me step 1, and I actually need to be able to do this first. And then once I've done that, I'll be able to move on to this next bit of information. And you'll start to see that there is this freaking wicked, awesome plan that's been set out for you. So it's up to you to look at the prioritizing of things and remembering some things that you're searching and seeking to achieve at this point. Some are short term, some take long term. So you may be overlapping certain things, but that's okay. Once you've done this, it's so important to be able to come in and ground your energy. This is the number one tip to share with you, is that we get so caught up in our ideas and the excitement and seeing how things are unfolding, and that's so fucking cool. But again, we spend too much time out in the ethers, out into the cosmos, and out there in that universal wonderland out there. But that's not bringing things into present reality and living within this world. And it can be a challenge, because it's really wonderful to stay out there in that, universal cosmic place, because everything is peace, love, and mung beans and looks wicked and amazing and it's gorgeous. And sometimes the reality can be a different version of that. But it's important to be able to pull in that information into looking at how do you birth this into this current present reality. And this is why it's so vital to ground your energy. Hey Beth, hey Byron, how is everyone? So the significant aspect of grounding is that it brings your energy from being out there in the universal cosmic wonderland, and it brings it and channels your energy into the now, the present. It also helps switch off that nervous system that is in hyper awesomeness of excitement from all of these ideas, and actually allows your mind to become calm. So as you're creating your action plan, you're actually doing it from a place of soulfulness, not this crazy busy mind that is on this rampage of I can take on the freaking world. Don't get me wrong, that's so fucking cool, but you burn yourself out. This is the understanding and the significance of why it's vital to ground your energy, so that you have sustainable energy for the duration of the time that it's going to take for things to unfold. And this is where our intuition, hey Tony, hey Ann Scott, yeah, I'm with you on that, Kate. And the biggest reason that I'm coming in and I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I have all my shit together. I don't. Grounding for me is one of... that's wicked, Kate. The reason that I'm sharing this with you is this is something I have to practice, and I have to become really conscious to really bring my mind into being grounded, because I understand it and get it all from the logical point, but it's more about the energetic connection to connect me into that intuitive guidance. Because when you stay grounded, you receive even more intuitive guidance on the how-to steps on how to make these ideas into an action plan. And not just that, it brings things back into balance. And when you are more balanced and more calm, and there is more stillness in your mind, it's almost like that in itself illuminates this amazing pathway to just see exactly what step you need to be able to do. Definitely, Kate, being quiet to be able to connect into that soulfulness is so incredibly refreshing and awesome, but it takes practice. This is something I have to practice all the time. There are certain things that I can just do naturally, and I don't even have to consciously even think about this. But this is something that I do need to spend a lot of time practicing and do regularly, or else you notice when you're not grounded is because you start running around with your head chopped off. You know, the next shiny little thing that jumps into your conscious awareness, you're like a little dog and chases the ball in that direction. And then the next sparkly thing happens and then you're chasing off in that direction. And then you wonder why. You sit back in a couple of weeks and you're like, man, I don't actually feel like I've done much, but I am freaking wrecked. And that's because your energy is getting scattered in multiple different places. The awesome thing about being able to write all your ideas down is that opens up a channel for journaling. It's another opportunity where your soul can come in and provide you with even more insight. Being able to understand how to be able to turn these ideas into actionable how-to steps, and also being able to recognize, hey, okay, well, this is the direction that I want to go in, but there's a bit of a gap and there's either a skill or I need some more information, and you have that conscious awareness then to make that immediate change to then go, hey, I may need help from someone. How do I use my soul? How do I connect in intuitively to then send out that vibration out into the universe to go, hey, I need you to be able to find the right person to help me with this specific area of getting this job taken or making this dream come to reality. I am a bit of a shiny syndrome person myself. So this is why it's so important that as we lead to a new moon, that we really understand and recognize our shiny syndrome, and recognize how do we harness and channel this energy so that you can actually make those dreams come true. Because we're in a new moon, and a new moon starts on April the 5th, and this is a new moon in Aries, and Aries is a fire sign, so it is really driven. And the awesome thing is to be really aware is that your intuition is going to start guiding you, and your how-to steps and ways that you never thought about. So don't box yourself in that there's only one way of doing something. Remember, there are multiple ways. The new moon in Aries is going to guide you towards not following the path that everyone does. So if all of a sudden you get some guidance that says, hey, let's do this, and you go, oh, I haven't seen anyone else do that. Just because no one else isn't doing it doesn't mean that it's wrong. So become curious, ask more questions. But this is why it's so vital to take all of those amazing ideas, journal them down, jot them down, brain dump them out of your head, and then journal more around what they mean for you as a channel to open up more communication between you and your soul for more intuitive guidance on how to turn this into an actionable plan. When you understand that over the next week, at least spend 1 or 2 times throughout the day to ground your energy, to be able to harness your energy so that as you're executing and expending it, that it is going in the direction of the plan, and you know what the plan is because you have it written out in front of you. It also helps you to keep that clarity. It helps you to stay focused. And it also ignites that passion, because when we are executing and using our energy, especially when we know that this is exactly the direction I need to go in, that is so much more exciting and so much more fulfilling than that airy excitement of craziness. That craziness will drive you crazy. That's the reason why it's called craziness. So don't stay out there for too long. Pull and call in all of those amazing ideas into how do you convert them into tangible steps for within this present current reality. Because at the end of the day, you live here on this earth, not out there in the universe. The universe gives us amazing ideas and concepts, and it's our role to pull them in to this current reality and allow that intuition, that soulful part of yourself to help guide you. And this is where we bring in, as if for anyone that's been following me, I've been saying to all of you over the last couple of weeks, you have this cosmic team between your soul and the universe and your human part of your own self, as well as that intuitive part of yourself. So you have this amazing team that is working with you to give you everything you friggin' want. Now you have to do the work, and the work is to sit, be still, take the ideas, put them down, journal around it, ground your energy, and then when you've got it, then you take action, action, action. But don't take action without doing step 1, 2, and 3. Hey Vicky, no worries. We'll have to push it, otherwise I'm gonna. No worries, but not lose the kids, Helen. Hey Sharon, hey Vicky, hey Anna Scott. So pleased that this is all connecting with each one of yous. I'd love to hear how this is all connecting with you. Is this something that, you feel like it's that missing link that you've just gone, now I know what to do with it? Because you know what, your soul is giving you all of these amazing visions of your future for a reason. Believe in it. Understand that all you need to do is be able to create the action plan. And I know I can be really 100% transparent and sit here and go, yeah, man, it's so awesome to get caught up in those dreams and just leave it all sitting inside your head where it just feels all nourished and awesome in there. But in a month's time, when you haven't taken any of those steps, it soon turns from awesome to feeling like shit in yourself. So this is where we get to prevent those future things that could crop up if we don't learn how to harness and really capitalize on this amazing energy that is coming through at this point. And this is where the moon, it offers us these great amazing portals for specific times every single month as a way to really harness and get the maximum amount of benefit from this. Oh, that's so awesome. I'm so glad that you that this is exactly what you needed to hear. And Scott, this is awesome. Thank you. That's awesome. I'm so glad that you needed to hear this. Journaling, yes. Journaling is one of the most powerful ways to deeply connect with your intuition, because sometimes we don't understand how much wisdom we have within our own self. Sometimes we forget how incredibly powerful and fucking really smart our own self is. And this is where, when journaling starts to reflect back this to us. And by writing all of these ideas and then looking at, well, okay, just say, for example, you want to learn how to run 5Ks. Okay, what are all the things that you'll need to do? Be creative, be open, let it just flow. Ask your brain the question, what do I need to do to make this step happen? And then just write everything down. Don't judge. Just remove that human part of yourself that wants to judge and box you and keep you confined and small. Allow yourself to breathe, expand, and allow yourself to grow at this period. And this is where the journaling this is where we start to unlock some of our own potential, because we go, oh man, like sometimes the most obvious thing for you to do, we forget to do because it's so obvious. But when we start writing down, we're like, oh man, if I just do this, this, and this, that will help me actually actually achieve a whole lot in a very more space of time. Had you not written that down, you would have spent a whole lot of time running around with your head chopped off and probably not even achieving those steps in the first place. So this is something like, when I've done it, then I will actually keep my little action plan on the wall in front of me, so that when I come into my office every day, I know what it is that where I'm going to distribute my energy and for what reason. So you get to be able to see the small things that you need to do, the small little steps that you need to be able to achieve. So you get to see the now present things. And as you go along and achieve them, you're actually ticking off the box, building your own confidence, because you're actually recognizing, hey man, I have done so much awesome work towards that goal. I'm going to get there. So you are initiating to elevate your own confidence within your own self just by following through with this. And then, as I said, using this your own cosmic team to help you. Let your soul give you intuitive guidance. Send out anything that you need to the universe so that it can start that vibration of frequency to draw the things that you need into your reality to help you to achieve this. You don't have to do this journey alone. And remember, never forget to ask. If you need help achieving what it is that you're wanting to do, it'll only be your ego that keeps you not asking people because you're worried about what they'll fucking think. Who gives a shit? If those people are going to judge, then they're not your people. Move on to the next person. But don't keep yourself, shrink yourself or hide yourself because you don't want to get caught up in your own ego. This is where these kind of steps also help reveal our weaknesses so that we can put more effort into being able to strengthen those areas that we may have been reluctant to do before. So this whole exercise about grounding and journaling helps us actually the undercurrent, because everything has these different layers. So the ideas is like the one layer. The next layer is connecting with your soul and the universe and allowing those ideas to expand and grow. The next layer is building your confidence and your belief in yourself and learning to support and back yourself. And then the next layer is at the end of it is that you actually change your beliefs and your values because of the action that you have taken. So nothing just has one superficial level. Take a good look at what it's going to take to be able to achieve this. And so that when you see these things, you know that you're ticking off the box, that I can feel confident. I do believe in myself, and you're ticking off so many more fucking boxes than what you originally thought. And the fact that you are creating this team network to help support you is number one important. So use all of these amazing resources right that are all around you at this moment to support you to be able to achieve your dreams. Because any of you that have been following me for a really long time know that I am the queen of dreams. Like, I believe so wholeheartedly that dreams are meant to come true. The only thing that gets in the way is that human part of ourselves where we get stuck in our own friggin' head, emotionally beat ourselves up and tell ourselves that we can't do it. These wonderful opportunities that the new moon provides is to open up the doorway to believing in yourself. So there's all these great opportunities for you to be able to really consciously connect in with over these next, we are Wednesday, so the new moon is on I'll get it out in a second, is on Friday. So we have got a few days to start really working with this, but be patient, check in with yourself. Some of these ideas may take a few days. I don't ever rush it. I will always put an idea in if I get stuck with an idea, I will just leave it on a post-it note and put it so I can see it. And then the next bit of information that attaches to that idea will reveal itself when it needs to. My role in that is only just to record it and write it down somewhere so that when the next piece of the information comes, you know exactly where it belongs. So if everything doesn't unfold exactly how you think it's going to right at the moment, just remember the next piece will be revealed to you at exactly the right time. So I'd love to hear how, if anyone has any questions and they'd like to know more about learning how to more deeply connect with their intuition, if they want to discover how to receive those soulful bits of information with absolute clarity, then you'll find a link in the comments area, which is about having a free sacred soul chat with me for anyone that would like to learn how to tap into their intuition and develop their psychic skills. You'll find a link. It's a free 45-minute session, which is valued at $450 that I do for people that are truly wanting to invest in themselves to develop those skills. Otherwise, have a wicked Wednesday. Keep those awesome ideas flowing. Write them down, channel your energy to connect them with grounding that energy. And if you're not sure how to do that, there are 50 million grounding meditations that you can do on YouTube. Go and check them out. Allow your breath to just slow down is also another gorgeous way to allow that deeper connection with your soul. So much love to you all. Take care. Thank you for joining me. Please feel free to share or tag someone in this that you feel could really benefit from hearing this information. Much love to you all. See yous.